Now let's take a look at this example. So MACRS depreciation with GDS. That's the method you want to use. A firm purchased and placed in service a new piece of semiconductor manufacturing equipment. So this is the type of asset you're looking at, semiconductor manufacturing equipment. The cost basis for the equipment is 100,000. That is the B. Okay, so determine A, the depreciation charge permissible in the fourth year, which is the D4. The BV at the end of the fourth year, so BV4. The cumulative depreciation through the third year, D3 star. The BV at the end of the fifth year, if the equipment is disposed of at that time, BV5. And look at this. The equipment is disposed of at that time, which means for the fifth year, your depreciation can be only the half-year depreciation, okay? So the B is given as 100,000, and the D4, so D4 should be B times R4, right? So in order to determine the R4, we need to first know what is the class of this asset, what is the recovery period, and then we check the table 7-3 for R4. So now the first thing is to check the class. So read through the description and you can find out that semiconductor is the manufacturer of electronic components, products and systems. And under that, your GDS column, you will have the 5, that is your recovery period, okay? And then go to this table and find out the column of 5 year. Stop. 不可以都拿出来。So under this column, you want to find out the R4, okay? So R4 is this one, the fourth row under that column. It's 0.1152. Okay, go back here, and B is 100,000. R4 is 0.1152. So the D4 is 11520. Okay, and then what is BV4? BV4 is B minus D1 minus D2 minus D3 minus D4, right? The cost basis minus the depreciation deduction for every year until the fourth year, okay? So B is 100,000. What is D1? D1 is B times R1. And D2 is B times R2. D3 is B times R3. D4 is B times R4. Okay, now let's go back to check this table. So R1, R2, R3, and R4. That's all the rates you want to use. Okay, so B is 100,000 times R1 is 0.2. R2 is 0.32. R3 is 0.1920. Okay. And R4 is 0.1152. Okay, and all of this will give you $17,280. Okay, and then you want to find out D3K. D3K is what? Is the sum of the D1, D2, D3, okay? The cumulative deduction through year K. D1 is what? Is B times R1. D2 is B times R2. D3 is B times R3, okay? And we just find out this here. So you just copy that over here without the negative sign. And that is 71,200. Okay, and then let's talk about BV5. BV5 is B, you can use B minus the sum from year 1 to year 5, DI, okay? You can also use BV4 minus D5, which is easier because we have already calculated BV4, okay? So BV4 is 17,280. And what is D5? D5 should be B times R5. Okay? But here, are you going to use this R directly? You can't, because it is stated that the equipment is disposed of at the end of the fifth year, at the end of the fifth year. So by the requirements of half-year convention, you can only take half-year depreciation deduction of that year. So here you have to make it a half. Okay. This is why you want to make it half. So it's 17,280 minus 100,000 times 0.1152, which is the R5 in the table, but you can only use half of it because of the half-year convention. Okay, so that will give you 11,520.